What is up, guys? Happy Friday. Today is backtesting Friday, so today we're going to go ahead and continue with that. The first pair we are going to look at is USDCHF. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So it looks like this week, right? So this was Monday, right? If you could take a look down here where I'm looking at Sunday, all the dates right here. As you cover the candles, it tells you the days, right? So this is literally Monday right here, the start of Monday, and the market, it moved a little bit. It definitely took some action, right? I'm gonna delete this. It moved a little bit, not too much so. I personally didn't trade that. I saw that, but I was like, I'm not really interested in trading Christmas. Um, and that was literally right because when was Christmas? Christmas is on Wednesday. Yeah. So the market was chilling. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is Monday, right? Oops, I don't want that. Monday. So let's go drop down to the 1 hour time frame. Awesome. So it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit different on the 1 hour and 4 hour, but we can still take a look at this. Let's delete this. Let's actually go back up and then we'll talk about why we would be looking for buys. Well, one, we can see that USDCHF has been bullish for a while now. Well, since this low here, but ever since then it's been pushing, right? So if we look at this area specifically, we can see that one, we have a nasty pullback, right? A nasty pullback where the market gives us some equal lows. We have support, 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 support. We clear liquidity, and now the market has continued in that bullish run, right? So let me go ahead and just change that color because that thing is ugly. All right. So now that the market has continued in that bullish move, we should be looking for buy setups now, right? Does that make sense, guys? When the market is bullish, we should be looking for buys. Now, sometimes it's going to fool us out. It's going to trick us, right? We can obviously see we have some type of sell type structure. So once we go ahead and get this change of character, we're most likely anticipating some type of sells here, but the market never really gives us anything clean. So in that aspect, if you're waiting for the confirmations, you really don't have anything that looks really, really nice, you know, to sell in this area. Maybe other than this, but it is what it is. I'm sure on the 1 hour time frame that looks a bit cleaner. But again, sometimes we're gonna get fooled with structure like this, right? It happens. Nothing we can do about getting fooled once in a while. But that's when back testing comes in and maturing and understanding how the market likes to fool you, right? But as it gives us more confirmation, it continues to the upside. We have support, which is my left shoulder. We sweep liquidity, and then we continue with that bullish move, giving us that change of character in this area. Right now, as soon as we get this, guys, we should be looking for some type of buy setups, right? Obviously, if we look in here, we can see we have our bullish breakout, and our last selling candle would be right here. That's going to be our starting point. And obviously, we have our left shoulder here. So we're waiting down here right now. This is where the really, really good buys are. Why? Because there's liquidity being built right on top of that, right? But with that being said, liquidity has to be built up. And obviously, people are participating in that. So if you're going to continue looking for buys, we're going to continue looking for the best possible buys when it comes to levels, right? We know that we're waiting here, but the market can still continue and we can still take the opportunities, knowing at the end of the day, we want to see if we could take some positions here, right? Make sense, guys? Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. So as we see, I'm looking at this in a buy mind state right now, right? Now, I'm looking at this as I'm showing you this on the 4 hour, and then we're gonna drop down to the 1 hour and take a look at it. Right? I'm looking at this as liquidity consolidation. We sweep this liquidity here, and then we continue up in that bullish momentum. So I have an inverted, right? Now, my shoulder is going to be this one here, or I could even use this one, because no matter what, my closest body is going to be right here, right? My low, that's my stop loss. So we have the change of character. And this is going to be my left shoulder, and this is going to be my stop loss. We do have a starting point here, but let's take a look at this on the 1 hour time frame. Now, again, this doesn't look as clean on the 1 hour time frame. And honestly, a lot of the things that USDCHF does is just not very clean, to be honest. It's super choppy and ugly. But we can see here, we have support, support, support. We sweep the liquidity, and then we go ahead and take off, right? So sometimes when it's not that clean, guys, I mean, you really don't have to stay on the 1 hour. Try to clean that up a little bit and just go to a higher time frame. To me, that looks much better. Before the 2 hour looks a bit cleaner. I wouldn't argue that. Looks a bit cleaner, but the 4 hour definitely looks the nicest. Now, when we play this, we can see that the market comes back into our area. And to continue buys, I would like to go ahead and break and close above here. So let's go ahead and see if the market can do that. Awesome. It did what it was supposed to do, right? This was a good buy setup. Why? Because the market let us know it was bullish, and it actually gave us an inverted head and shoulder. We had consolidation, the sweep, the bullish confirmation to the upside, and we were waiting down here. That's a good buy. Take the opportunity and you can send that market up. Now, that should already be a TP hit if we're definitely looking at 1 to 3, I believe. Stop loss, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Yeah, so that's already a winning trade. You should be out of that trade already. Everybody's clear about that, right? That's a done trade. You shouldn't be holding that trade. As soon as it goes past 1 to 3, you guys should be taking more than half partials. You should be taking about 80%, if not the whole thing. Like, guys, take your money. Like, take the money. Trust me. It's going to benefit you in the long run. Right? But now look, we have a brand new setup. Now we can see we have a large bullish candle, which is my BOS of the upside. But now this my last selling candle. This is my starting point. Right? And now my inverted looks a little bit different. Right? But look, check me out. If I move this out the way, notice how we have a low here, and then we push lower and then continue higher. Let's take a look at that on the 1 hour time frame and see how that looks. So again, guys, not every inverted is going to be nice. And sometimes you have to hop on different time frames. But we can see here that liquidity was swept, right? Whether it's trend line, whatever the case may be, that was swept, right? The market dropped. Market dropped, took all this liquidity, and then continued in that bullish move. So even though it looks a little funky, that's definitely an inverted head and shoulder. So let's go ahead and box that up. I'm going to use this. And my stop loss is at this low now. So now we're waiting and we're going to take a look. Market hit the stop loss. Definitely hit the stop loss. But the zone held up, right? It didn't break and close below. And sometimes that happens. And again, guys, all this is technically at the end of the day is they're just building liquidity, right? So let's take a look at this. Move that. Let's see if it gave you an opportunity on lower time frame. Doesn't look like it gave you much. It didn't give you anything to get back in, unfortunately. at least on these time frames. I'm not sure if you guys are dropping down all the way to the 1 minute. I mean, there it did, to be honest. It did, but that's a pretty sketchy inverted head and shoulder for the 1 minute. I would not have trusted this, to be real. To be real, would not have trusted that. To be honest, that looks too shady. It did give it though. I will say that. I will say that. Where are we at? Where are we at? So let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead. Market's going our way. Now, I would like to see the market break and close above this to give us that bullish confirmation minimum, right? Because we would have left shoulder, head, continue to the bullish, that bullish momentum, so we can go ahead and continue buys. So let's take a look. All right, so that's live price right now. Oh no, why did I do that? Okay, so we got that change of character to the upside. So let's go ahead and we will adjust. I'm going to delete this. Now, this is a pretty big setup, so you definitely have to be more cautious just because of the stop loss. I would not mind bringing this down here, though, for the 1 hour. Now, let's take a look. Go back up to the 4 hour so it moves faster. All right, so that's live price right there, right? So that's pretty much what happened this last week, and the market's still continuing bullish, right? Market's still continuing bullish. This was definitely last week, right? Last week, Monday, Friday. Yeah, so all this happened last week. Now, this is what happened this week, right? We can see we had more bullish confirmation because we broke and closed above here, giving us that bullish move, right? Now, in this setup, because this is literally Monday, right? So Monday is now here. I'm just going to put an arrow. This is Monday. Yeah, so Monday is now there. Blue arrow. So check me out. We need to see a BOS or a change of character to the upside. Sorry, change of character to the upside, giving us a breakout candle. And we can see that it's this one right here. Now, my starting point for that is right here. Now, it does give the move, but I personally wasn't looking to trade something like this. Even on the 1 hour time frame. Let's see. I guess you could have used this one. Your stop loss would be at this low here. You would have been saved. But you have a way better risk to reward if that's what you were trading. If you were trading buys on USDCHF, that was literally the only move of the week. Or I guess this one here as well. I didn't see this one. If you're looking to take this as a break of structure, it's not as, how would I say it, like, well, I guess, yes, because we do break and close above here. All right, cool. Yeah, so that would have been 2 moves of the week. BOS of the upside, the market makes its way back, comes inside that starting point and continues with that bullish move, gives you a slight pullback again, continues with that bullish move. And those were literally the only 2 moves that happened this week that look super, super clean. But it still looks real sloppy. Like it's still, it's not, those aren't the cleanest moves in my opinion. It just looks weird. It just looks sloppy. Let me take a look at your setup, Bruno. Did I pull that over here? All right, hold on. Let me take a look. All right, so where's your starting point? Are you talking about this like gray box here as is your starting point? me pull up the chats. Okay, so that's a 30-minute starting point. All right. Now your entry, did you enter as soon as it touched your starting point? Bruno, I had a small BOS on the smaller time frame and then it retested and took it. Okay, so you had a BOS at the downside, right? And then you were taking that break of structure, right? Oh, right here. Okay, yeah, I see that. Okay, yeah, I do see that. You were taking this right here, correct? Market retests. This was your entry. Okay, I got it. Cool. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see why that didn't really work out as planned. Let's go ahead and take a look. USDCHF. All right, so I'm just curious. Your 30-minute your 30-minute starting point was over here somewhere, right? I'm just guessing it has to be in that area. Or was it somewhere in here? Let me know, bro. Inside here or far left? Inside? Okay. Let's see. Let's clear this up. Let's clear this up. Now I feel like it's somewhere like in here. Is it in here? You were looking inside of here? I don't think it's over here. What time frame was that? That was the 1 hour. Okay. Okay, right here. Okay, got you, got you, got you. Okay, I got you. Got you right there. And you're talking about this one? Oh yeah, it had to be this one. 30-minute? Yeah, it had to be this one. Okay. All right. All right. Bruno, this is gonna be your biggest clicking moment, bro. Right? This is gonna be your biggest clicking moment right here. Um, this was also said last week, but sometimes you have to get clapped in order for you to understand. Like I can give you all the sauce, but at the end of the day, people just have to learn their lessons. And it's not even like the hard way. It's just like it's hard to just like tell everybody everything that I've done and like to take all my losses that I've taken, give them to you, and then you're just going to listen. Like they're gonna be in the back of your head, and then things are gonna have to happen to you, and then you're like, oh shit, that's what he was talking about. And then the connection starts to really intertwine. Right. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. One, Bruno, the biggest thing that you're looking at right now is this is a counter trend trade, right? Counter trend trade. Once you see the market is bullish, bro, it's best to just continue to look for buys. And the thing is like people get so antsy because they have to wait, right? You would have to wait here for your buy. Market gives you the BOS or the change of character, goes up, goes up, goes up. So if we look at this from when it gives you a solid change of character, I'll take a look at that in a minute, Jennifer. As soon as we get a solid change of character, so let's just say it happened right here, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 hours until they're able to take a trade, right? But look at the movement that it gets. And then as soon as the market gives us the confirmation again, I don't know why I counted. As soon as the market gives us confirmation again, the market comes back inside the zone, and it took 4 days. It took 4 days in order to take a trade again. So people get so antsy, right? They want to sell to the buy and buy to the sell and sell to the buy. They want to ping pong the market so bad. And I'm not saying you can't, because it can be done, right? But you also have to know when it's a good time and when it's not a good time to take a counter trend trade. Are you with me so far, Bruno? All right, bet. So yeah, one is, this is a starting point. You are right. We do break structure to the downside, right? We do break structure to the downside. Market gives us a breakout rally of candles. This is a starting point for sales. Yes, exactly. So now the market was just shy of hitting this sell and then just give a massive drop. This sell that you were looking for right here, it was probably meant for this area, but it missed. Right? So keep that in mind. Now, two, or I guess, yeah, two, when you understand the market is in an uptrend, so let's go ahead and delete this. Delete this. When you understand the market is in an uptrend, the banks and hedge funds are looking for discounted prices, right? They're looking for discounted prices. So if we pull up the fib, and let me just go ahead and add a couple things real quick so it's a bit clearer for you guys. Not sitting right. So price levels. All right. So when you take a look at this, right, we can see here that if we look at this as a discounted price with the banks, let's just say this is $0, right? This is $0, and the move all the way up here is $200, right? As the market is pulling back, it's trying to pull back to a solid discounted price. Market comes up, it's trying to come back to a discounted price. Notice how it hits 62% and then takes off, right? The thing is, bro, is when the market's really bullish, anywhere from 50% discount lower is a really good area to start looking for buys, right? Now, let's say it hits around this area. All we have to do is start looking for the inverted, and we're out of here. We're out of here. Why? Because it's already in discounted prices. Does that make sense, Bruno? Okay, cool. Now, take a look. The market literally came back and even got the price cheaper because they went below. So they got the price even cheaper and then shot the market back up, right? So they got a really good discounted price. And then the market ended up continuing in that bullish move. But the thing about counter trend trades, bro, we know we want to go ahead and take buys around here. The thing about counter trend trades is I want to catch this sell as fast as possible. As fast as possible. The longer I wait for this sell and the lower the market drops into discounted prices, Bruno, the less likely this zone is going to hold. Why? Because the market is going in an uptrend. So we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Yes, the market did give a sell opportunity, but if the market doesn't touch, or the market just misses and then drops into nasty discounted prices, bro, it's way less likely this sell is going to hold because all that is a higher high, higher low, higher high. Does that make sense, bro? So I want to catch this sell as fast as possible. Just like this, the way it came back right away, I would have wanted it, boom, right there to take it all the way down to a discounted price. 1 to 3 is all you need. Now, let's just say it missed, right? Because technically it did. But let's say it drops, it misses, and continues down. Bro, once we get into discounted prices, bro, we should not really be looking to take any counter trend trades here. I gotta be honest. I used to get clapping that shit so much my first year, bro. So much until I started to understand that it's a counter trend, one. And when I watched Valentino's boot camp, he explains that you want to catch the counter trend faster rather than later because later is less likely to happen for you. So I hope that makes sense for you, bro. Because even though it did give, you know, um a, a little head and shoulder right here, we have the change of character, which it did give, and it did look like it gave the head and shoulder. But let's take a look. The 1 to 3 was definitely taken, but it just didn't continue in that bullish move. I'm sorry, it just didn't continue in that bearish move. So yeah, bro, I hope that makes sense. I hope I was looking at the right area. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at Jennifer's screenshot. What is this? GBP JPY. What do you have marked up right there? Is that a starting point you have? Awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look. We have the same play. It's just I have the shoulder marked up. And technically this whole thing is a starting point from here. That was missed. Demand. All right, so we have the same play. So the thing is, this entry right here, that was probably a miss for this starting point. So when the market comes back to see if this was the zone it really wants, I would just wait for a change of character or just heavily under leverage, because if you take a loss here, it's not going to hurt your account. But if you must trade it under leverage, and if you can wait, just wait for the change of characters, you can take it with confidence. Um, because most likely this was meant for the starting point and it was just a miss. And we have a shoulder entry down here. Just keep that noted. Just keep that noted. But this does look pretty good for some buys. Everything's looking pretty solid, to be real. So I like that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me take a look. Austin sent in something. GBP Swiss. Let's see. Did you take sales or you're looking for sales next week? You're looking for sales, right? GBP Swiss. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Okay. Austin, what's this blue box, bro? Is he on the call still? Where he at, bro? Front of the class. Food dipped out. All right, never mind. Next. Dang, Nova's on it. That's right. Let's see. Anybody else have any charts? What pair you guys want me to look at next, guys? We got 30 minutes. Let's go, Juan. Hey, Juan's been killing it, bro. Can you backtest NAS if no one else has any charts? All right. Well, anybody have anything else they want me to look at before we get into NAS? AUDJPY. Let's take a look. Man, that's a lot of liquidity. That's a lot of liquidity being built up. So let's take a look on the higher time frame real quick. Oh man, it looks like the yens want to sell, bro. The more they hang out in this area, guys, the more liquidity it's building. Like I know on the 1 hour time frame, you're probably seeing like crazy moves, bro. You're like, oh snap, the market's moving, the market's moving, the market's moving, but it really hasn't left this area in a while. So that's building liquidity right now. In my opinion, we have a pretty decent sell setup right here. Right now, we're just waiting. This one is okay. I'm gonna definitely be waiting for that confirmation, but we do have something there as well. So on the 4 hour time frame, we do have a head and shoulder that we have the sweep of liquidity or the BOS of the upside, and then we have the change of character right here. Boom. This is a daily starting point, daily shoulder. Now I have a starting point right here, but I don't think it's going to be respected. I just have it right there to see what's going to be happening when by the time it gets there. But let's take a look at this structure here. Let's delete this. What did it bounce off of? Nothing really. At least not on this time frame. 4 hour time frame. Did it bounce off of this thing right here? All right, I'm gonna just delete it because I don't want them overlapping. So let's take a look. Delete, delete, delete. All right. So I was looking for buys around here. Market never came down that far, but let's take a look at this. Are we still? Oh. Take a look at this. So the thing I like to do is, guys, is whenever the market misses my zone, sometimes that happens, right? So whenever we get the change of character, I do like to look for some buys because I like to listen to the market. And if I end up getting clapped, it is what it is. I wanted to buy right here originally. But the thing is, I can't be afraid of taking losses. I can't be afraid of recognizing my setup and taking the opportunity when it comes. Because what if it hits? What if it hits and you were scared to take the opportunity because you're waiting down here? And don't get me wrong, you should be disciplined, right? And you should stay consistent with the things that you are doing. But I've noticed there are times, right? You're waiting for your zone right here. Sometimes it doesn't come and it gives you a perfectly good setup right here. Personally, I would not take these, right? Because I was waiting at the zone and then I would miss out on some pretty good movement, right? Knowing even though I got these buys and we can continue to push up for a while, I'm still looking for buys right here. The market just missed. This buy zone is still valid. I'm just going to listen to the market until it tells me, hey, let's go ahead and start heading down now. But we can see we have a starting point right here in this area. And we do have a shoulder right here as well. Right, so it's from this low wick to this body right here. So let's go ahead and take a look. Stop loss is at this low. Market taps right into my shoulder and into my starting point. Starting point was a snipe, right? And now the market's in profit. These zones are used up, and I would like to go ahead and continue buys here. Liquidity sweep. Let's see if we can get that change of character. Hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened yet. Okay, we got it. Right. So I would like to go ahead and move my zones here. update with my stop loss there. So let's go ahead and take a look. Market continues up, continues in that bullish move, continues. Let's see. Continues, and I would still be waiting right here because the market definitely missed and it created some liquidity on the lower time frame right here. So I'm still waiting. Market's on its way to me. Awesome. It's in my zone. Let's get it. Let's see what's happening. So now the market's in drawdown, right? So there's nothing we can do about that. All we can do is mark up. We have a BOS here. BOS, and my change of character line is right here. And I have this starting point here because I know that as long as the market doesn't break and close below, and it just taps this starting point, it can continue higher, right? So if the market does break and close below, I'm going to start looking to the downside because the market just violated the setup. And this is already used, right? And I'm not saying it can't be used again. I'm just not looking to use it again personally off the first touch. First touch is right here. Second touch, I'm waiting for something clear, right? But if this zone is used again as a second touch, notice where your stop loss is. The market has to break and close below here. So let's go ahead and take a look. Boom. Hit that starting point, respected it again, and it stayed within your stop loss. So technically, this buy setup is still valid if we can get some confirmation. Let's continue and see what's good. Market's going up. Market flew. That's exactly why, guys. That is exactly why we know how to react when market conditions change. The market hit your stop loss. I'm definitely not saying it didn't. You took a loss there, right? But when you know how to get back in, guys, it's game changer. It really is game changer. So the aggressive entry. Everybody say aggressive for me, guys. Everybody type in, say aggressive entry. Aggressive entry. Notice once it hits your stop loss, guys, dang, no one wanted to unmute. Y'all ain't brave today, bro. Y'all ain't brave today. When the market hits your stop loss, it's very, 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 very important. Everybody say very important. Very important.
Very important.
Let's go, baby. Very important. You wait for the candle that hits your stop loss to close. You have to let it close. So let's go ahead and go back. Our stop loss has not been hit, has not been hit, has now been hit. Okay, cool. The candle closed inside my setup still. So what I can do, now this is an aggressive entry. And just because I took a loss, I'm not looking to bet more or over leverage. Whatever you took the first one, the first trade you lost, whether it's a test trade, you're going to throw another test trade. You're going to throw the same lot down. Do not try to throw more leverage down to get your money back. You're going to get it back eventually. Aggressive entry. As soon as this candle closes, I'm going to enter right where it closes, and my stop loss is going to be the new low. With my target, the new highs. So let's take a look. Market did its thing. Why? Because the market respected the setup. The market definitely hit our stop loss. Yes. Right. We were initially looking to get into something that looked like this. Market hit our stop loss. The market respected and stayed within our setup. And as soon as that candle closed, we were able to get in. Aggressive entry is very important. And your stop loss is going to be that low wick. And we're continuing with the 1 to 3 risk to awards. Make sense, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Now, let's just say the market definitely disrespected. Let's say the market disrespected. Right? And let's just say the market gives me another red candle. Market gives me another red candle. Okay, cool. I hit my stop loss. Do you guys see any setups that I can use to take sales?
The starting point?
Yes. Which one? Yes, that's exactly the one you can take. You mark that up, you stay fresh, right? You stay fresh, you wait for the market to come, pull back, and give you that entry so you can sell the market. Know how to react when market conditions change, and you won't be afraid of taking a loss. It sucks taking losses. Don't get me wrong. We all do it. But when you know how to react when the market conditions change, guys, game over. Game over. Right? So that's one entry you can take a look at. The other entry you can take a look at would be exactly, bro, the break and retest of the violation starting point. So we were looking for buys here. We can also take a look at this area to see if we can take sales off of our previous buy and take some sales off of that as well. Right? So yeah, know how to react. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look and see. Now the second way, this is the confirmation entry or the patient entry, right? Not the aggressive entry. I just showed you guys that. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, he said we can be aggressive. I'm like, no, bro. Understand what you're looking at. Don't be aggressive all the time when it comes to how would I say it? Because I don't want to like contradict, right? Understand when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive, right? I would not be aggressive on counter trend trades, and I would learn to be more aggressive with trend trades, right? Because when the market is trending, guys, it still has to pick pockets, unfortunately, right? It still has to go for some people who are over leveraged, who are scared, who are willing to close trades, right? Who's willing to, do all the extra stuff to give them more money, right? So knowing when to be aggressive is a skill for sure you have to learn. But look, now the confirmation entry, the patient entry. Well, once the market goes in that bullish move, we have a brand new setup. All we have to do is wait. Shoulder, neckline, head, change of character. All we have to do is wait, and the market will be looking for some buys, right? So it's the same shit that we usually do, right? All you have to do is wait for a setup. But let's take a look right here on a lower time frame to see if the market gives us something we can use for right now, right? Because also, because I got stop lossed, some people aren't going to be, they're not going to want the aggressive entry. Some people don't want that. They want to like look and dissect and get a confirmation. So let's see if we can get a confirmation on lower time frame. Take a look real quick. It all looks pretty choppy. It all looks pretty choppy. And like with this setup like this, some people aren't going to want to be aggressive because it doesn't look as clean. Right? But let's take a look. Let's take a look right here. So we can definitely see we're on the 5 minute right now. So we can see the market hits our stop loss, right? We have a BOS to the downside, and then we have the change of character right here. So initially we were waiting for some buys down in this area. But however, the market continued with that bullish momentum, and we had another break of structure to the upside right here. BOS to the upside, and we're able to get a starting point in this area. The market comes back into that area and it holds it down, and that would have been the buy opportunity. And if you would have hit a stop loss there, then I would have been looking for this entry or this entry here, right? But it looks like that was the entry that it gave you on the 5 minute. That still is a valid entry because we have a starting point as we break a starting point, right? We make a buy starting point as we violate a selling starting point. So that I feel like that's why the market respected that zone so much. And then if we go to the 15 minute, yeah, if we go to the 15 minute, this is actually the shoulder right here. So it makes sense because we have, let's see, we have liquidity being built up, liquidity sweep, change of character, and then on the 15 minute, I mean, it literally gives you the right shoulder, and then the market dips out. So the 15 minute looks like a bit clearer, in my opinion. It looks ugly because it doesn't like, it looks a bit clearer than the 5, but I mean, it's still kind of ugly. You know, the consolidation, it's a bit unclear. Change of character, right shoulder, and then we ended up taking off. So if you're trying to catch it down here after getting stop loss, those were the setups you could have took advantage on. And it all depends what kind of trader you are. Some people they like the 15, some people like the 5, some people like the 1, some people like the 1 hour, you know, so just understand what you guys are looking at. But it definitely looks like this was the one that was taken for sure. For sure. That was a snipe too. Let's go back up to the 1 hour. And then if you didn't catch that, right? If you didn't take the aggressive entry and you didn't look for a re-entry on the lower time frame after it hits your stop loss, the entry that you were looking for is right here. The brand new one. I just gave you guys 3 entries. The aggressive entry, lower time frame entry, and then the patient entry where you have to wait for the whole thing to happen again. So let's take a look and see what happens. I think that's the one we're waiting for, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the one we're waiting for. So yeah, I mean, we have to wait for that. There's nothing we can really do. Unfortunately, it kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is. But the thing is, I really don't like this liquidity, right? I really don't like this. However, this can still hold, but because I mean, this is like a semi. This isn't even like a really good buy. I just want to see what can happen. So I really feel like we're going to be continuing sales soon. I just have a weird feeling the way the market's building up. Because usually when the market takes off and it's really sharp, it usually leaves a point like that. Right? It usually leaves a point and then it's gone. And take a look. We have consolidation, a point, comes right back, and now we're building up liquidity. And then we're taking off. So we have equal lows and trend line right there for sure. So I definitely want to see if we could take some sales in the future because that doesn't look good. But yeah, we're waiting for this, Nova. You and me. Got you. Anybody else? Anybody else? Let me know what other pairs you guys want me to look at. I got you. Ask your questions because you will get your answers. I promise. We're all good today. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at NASDAQ. Nobody wants to look at any pairs. Let's take a look at NAS. So obviously NAS has been bullish. NAS has been bullish. I mean, pretty much for a couple months now, for a couple months. So I'm always looking for buys. Right? Sometimes it takes a minute, but I'm always looking for some type of buy opportunities. Now we can see here that this is the daily time frame, and on the weekly, it may look a bit clear. Yeah. So on the weekly time frame, we can see we have a clear break of structure. And this whole candle here is my starting point, right? So technically, if I really just want to put something like that, I mean, I can. It's just a big ass zone, right? So what I do is I drop down to a lower time frame on the daily, and I try to find get out of here, a smaller starting point for a tighter zone. Right now, the market came inside of here. This was, I believe, like FOMC or excuse me, CPI of like 2 weeks ago, which obviously shook up the market. Came right back down to this weekly starting point. It got a nice reaction. So let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame. So we can see here that we have a pullback, lower low, lower high. We have a low. It looks like we have one here as well. I kind of like this one too. And then we go ahead and change direction. Now we do have, let's see, on the 1 hour, this is for sure a starting point, and that setup for sure looks a whole lot better on the 1 hour time frame. We have a shoulder here, and then we have a starting point way down here, and I believe on the 4 hour it's actually a bit bigger. Let's go this way. Oh yeah. Oh yes, sir. All right, so I have a buy zone down here. Now the thing is, the market's going to keep giving buy zones, right? But when you know, especially with the indices, guys, the lower zones are usually better. But I usually keep zones right here just to see how the market's going to react, right? It definitely gave some drawdown. I didn't enter buys yet, right? I haven't entered no type of buys yet. The market gives drawdown, but let's see how it looks on a higher time frame. Notice this is the closest BOS on this time frame, which means my change of character is here. Right? Which means my change of character is here. Now look at this. This looks like a bit of a head and shoulder. Low, high, this low peaks lower than that low, and then we change character. Let's see if that actually hit. Snipe, my boy. Snipe. So that definitely got a good reaction off of it. Let's just change that color. But still, right? The market's change of character is way up here, which takes a minute, right? It's going to take a minute for the market to go ahead and continue with this bullish move, right? So what you could have done, now let's see if it gives opportunities as soon as it gets down to here. You could drop down to the lower time frame. Oh, this looks kind of ugly too. It doesn't really give anything good. And I wasn't really paying attention to NAS today, to be real. I was looking at a Forex pair. We have equal lows right here, which doesn't really look like buy market structure, to be honest. Let's drop down to the 1 minute. Now, on the 1 minute time frame, like that's when people start to get fooled, right? I'm going to be real. That's when people start to get fooled because you're going to start seeing the setup everywhere, right? But this is the thing. Oh, shoot. All right. I'll be right there. But this is the thing. We do get the setup right here, right? Like, I'm not going to lie. I see it, but it's not a very good one. It's not a very good one. The market comes right back, and this looks a bit better. I'm not going to front, right? We have the liquidity being built up. We do change character, barely. And then the market comes right back inside of here and respects and then takes off. So if you were looking at something like that, and I don't even think either of them hit stop loss, that one maybe have hit stop loss for sure. And it looks like that one doesn't. But the thing is, like, that just doesn't look like clean market structure. Now, if this wick was like down here, like you gave me like an obvious, head, okay. But I really don't like it when they're, super, super tight like that because it just looks like liquidity in my eyes. But if you have something that, jumps lower and then we change character, I'm like, okay, because then we have shoulder, head, change of character. Let's look for buys. And now my stop loss is in a much safer spot. We can continue looking for buys. Right. So for me, this wasn't, it didn't really give me buy type vibes. But when we go take a look at US 30, we take a look at US30, this buy structure is a whole lot different on the 1 minute time frame. Now, I didn't buy this just because it was like way below my buy zone. But if we take a look at this, right, we have liquidity, the sweep, the change of character, and then it comes right back in, but it hits my stop loss, right? But I don't really like trading the indices on the 1 minute. I like to trade them on the 5 or the 15, personally. Now, again, even on the 5, look at how ugly this shit looks down here. It doesn't look good. But if we go to the 15 minute, look at the structure. It starts to clear up. Was that on the 30? Must have been on the 30. It starts to clear up. We have the BOS of the downside, the change of character. We are now above my buy zone. I'm going to start looking for buys. And I ended up taking like a small buy here, and then I just closed out because it was like, it just got slow and I just closed out. But yeah, in my opinion, US30 was the better buy. And it even came back down to this shoulder right here. Gave a little bit of trouble. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour. Is that? Yeah, it's this right there. Gave a little bit of trouble, but it ended up holding up. So in my opinion, US30 was the cleaner one of, well, even SPX is pretty clean too. But notice how they're all in similar zones, guys. Oops. Similar areas. Similar areas. Ooh, that's DXY. So you guys, if you guys are trading indices, you guys should definitely be looking at taking a look at all of them together. You guys don't have to trade all of them together, but take a look at them. You know, it might give you a good strong bias. Can you see sales at 21.7? The thing I can, I guess, yeah. But to me, it kind of looks like bullish structure still because it looks like liquidity. And then if we can go ahead and get that, I wouldn't mind it. But the thing is, if we break down and we get the push up and change of character, I would not mind taking sales here. The thing is with me, guys, like when it's counter to trend, I don't mind missing this first initial push just to get the confirmation somewhere in here. Like I'm down to miss this just so I can catch this with confidence. Does that make sense? Yeah. So like the same thing, right? If I was looking for buys, like I'm down. I'm okay with missing this official push, right? I'll let Bruno stunt on the gram one time, and then I'll let the setup play out for me, and then I'll have my turn to stunt on the gram for my time. You feel me? So yeah, I hope that makes sense. But that is it for me, guys. I am late for a leadership call, so I appreciate you guys for giving me you guys' time on a Friday night. You guys can literally be doing anything. It is cold. I want to be snuggled up in my bed. I know y'all want to be snuggled up in your beds with some hot cocoa or some coffee or something. I know, shoot, that's what I want to do. But I'm gonna go hit the gym with Miguel right now because we in the challenge. But man, I appreciate you guys for hopping on the call, man. I really do appreciate you guys' time. On Monday, it'll be more of a basic day. So for anybody who is new today, yeah, we like to back test and get nerdy on the charts. But if you're new, Monday calls are for you, bro. Monday calls are for you. So with that being said, guys, you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Peace out.